What's up guys, my name is Sam, welcome back to another video, and here back to my F2 2019 career mode as Mahaveer Raghunathan, and today is episode 7, the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. If you haven't watched the previous episode, that was around Austria, where it was a race where Mahaveer didn't participate in real life because he was banned for achieving his 12 points in his super license, but now we are back. We did the race at Austria, but it makes sense saying that we are back to Silverstone. I'm not entirely sure, but make sure to smash like and subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F2 content and Formula 1 content and really racing game content in general. And it really motivates me to make more, and if you could do that, I would be very thankful. So here we are on practice, just doing our things, but it immediately started to rain, and we weren't unable to get best times, and it's going to rain for the feature race, so we have to watch that. But now it's qualifying time, where our teammate is in pole position at the moment, which was really impressive. So I decided to go out in halfway through the qualifying, where the track is more clean. I always do that because we just have one set of the softest comparative tire to use, and here we are doing our run with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go of this qualifying section. And Silverstone, first in terms of pace, has been really good. I'm not gonna lie, I always like Silverstone, especially the magnetic back section in the second sector, where I always enjoy to go through that session independently of what car we are driving. And yeah, in these F2 cars it feels really good, those sessions through the last corner, and we're going to cross a line that is going to be a 132.1. that is only enough to put us in P17. Well, that's a very realistic position, to say the least, because we're driving as Raghunathan, but there was a lot of time left on the table on that lap, and the grid is so bunched up in Formula 2 that 1 or 3 tenths can make the whole difference, and we are almost 2 tenths up on our second lap. Going purple on the second sector, it has been a very strong sector for us, but we didn't improve on the last one. But we improved massively on the last sector, and we crossed the line, and it is P10. But still, it's a bit low on the grid that I was expecting. And in the third lap, where generally I don't improve that much on the third lap, it's just the 2 laps where I do competitive times. But it was enough, and we're going to start this race in P5 behind our teammates. So Jordan has been really competitive in these last few races, which is really good for the team standings. So hopefully he can grab a podium, and myself and him can grab a good bunch of points. But we'll see what we can do, because now it's time for the race, the feature race for Formula 2, where it's going to be heavy rain condition.
Welcome to Silverstone, one of the staples of the Formula 2 Championship. It's a firm favourite amongst fans and drivers alike, and we're all keen to see what it has in store for us in today's race. So Silverstone's 3.6 miles of tarmac and 18 corners are no stranger to rain. Even in these conditions, without the DRS that would normally be available, the Wellington and Hangar Straight still represent some of the best opportunities for overtaking. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. A fantastic effort from Sergio Sette Camara yesterday puts him on pole position, and Louis Delatraz will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have King, De Vries, Mahaveer Raghunathan, and Giotto, Latifi, Schumacher, Aitken, Nobuharu Matsushita, Joe, Boschon, Antoine Hubert, and Galeo, Correa, Mazepin, Alesi, and Dorian Boccolacci. Ilott and Tatiana Calderon completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
A very typical summer's day at England, because yeah, that's summer in England. Oh god, that was an awful joke. Sorry for all the British that are watching this video, but welcome to the British Grand Prix, guys, at Silverstone. Feature race time, and it's going to be rain conditions. Not every rain is light rain, but remember there's no intermediates in Formula 2. It's just slicks or wets, and when it's the wets are the blue tires. So the rules in Formula 2 when it comes to tires, if you're not familiar with F2, the rules of the tires, I like this. I highly recommend to watch F2. Most of the times is more exciting than Formula 1, but there is our teammate starting in P3. Hopefully he can get a good start, but we'll see if we can get a podium as well. 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix, the feature race, 15 laps ahead of us, and it slides out, and away we go. And it was a very good initial getaway against the HRT of Nick de Vries, but then we bogged down a lot, and we had a lot of wheel spin, and we lost the position. Giotto got the position. Now we are side by side with Nicholas Latifi, and we're going to squeeze a little bit off to the track, and he gets the inside line still, and now he's going to dive on the inside of Luca Giotto, as you can see, and we are kind of the sandwich. Now we are behind these two guys, so the start has been really good. I tried to force my way on the side of the Thames, but not enough, and Latifi gets a very decent traction as I'm trying to put the throttle as early as I can, as you can see. And now Latifi pulls away, and we are vulnerable maybe a bit to Schumacher because he's so close to us. He's on the inside line, so maybe he's going to try something, and yes it is, he's going to try, but not enough. We managed to get a better run through I'm not entirely sure what is the name of that corner. I think it doesn't have a name. I'm really bad with corner names, so tell me in the comments what's that name of that corner, if it really exists. But we skip forward to the end of, not really the end of lap 1, and we are trying to catch this train, and as you can see we get a decent run against Nicholas Latifi on the Thames, and this is going to allow us to try to go something around the outside, so confident on the brakes against the Canadian, and we made the move stick. That is a beautiful move, and now I'm going to try to build my confidence on the rain and try to chase down these guys and possibly try to get a podium. As you can see, getting a little bit of oversteer, and Nicholas Latifi gets back for more, but I'm going to have a better run on the outside. He gets the nose in first, but then I have a better line because he's more dry on the outside line, and I get P6 back. And now, like I said, let's try to get Luca Giotto back, but we're going to watch the start of Jordan, because I think he had a pretty decent start here. I think it is in P2 at the moment, so actually Louis Delatraz gets a better start and gets on the inside and gets the lead of the race, and now Jordan gets the pieces of that move and goes on the inside of Sede Camera, and actually Sede Camera gets a good run on the outside, and now he's going to have the inside, and this is very good for the Delatraz, that is going to pull away of these two as they are still side by side. And this is a part of the track where the AI is super OP, and Jordan, sorry, I was distracted by talking another thing, gets the move done around the outside, and the Sede Camera lost so much momentum, and now he is vulnerable to the HRT of the Vries. The Vries now is going to have the inside line, but we'll see, because generally on the rain the outside line is always the best. He gets a bit caught on the curb, and Sede Camera gets the better run and is back into P3, so not the best start for someone that started on pole position. And here we are on lap 2 trying to press on these guys. I can't set the fastest lap, so maybe I'm struggling a little bit. I'm trying to get closer to Giotto, but now we have some team radio.
Behind is 2.4 seconds. They're on old wets. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. They have some kind of mechanical problem. The time last lap was a 1:58.5.
I was pulling away a lot of Latifi, and I was thinking if he had an issue, and he definitely has an issue. But like I said, I'm trying to catch Giotto, but I'm struggling a lot when it comes to grip in these tricky conditions. And we're watching Schumacher's POV. He's going to try on the inside through Maggots and Beckett on Nicholas Latifi. Latifi is struggling a lot because making a move like that, and no, actually Schumacher didn't make the move stick, and he has to settle down behind Latifi. But now he's going to have a good run and getting his substream, no DRS because we are under rainy conditions, and he's going to try to pull around the outside, and Latifi is already trying to forming a train, as you can see, formed by Schumacher. Aitken, Schumacher can't make the move, and this is going to allow Aitken to go on the inside through Stowe, but then Schumacher gets the better run around the outside, so the outside line is the best option maybe today in this feature race. And now Schumacher comes back for more in the next lap, and he's going to now have the inside line, and now that should be pretty much it. And Latifi having understeer like crazy, and this is going to allow, as you can see, Aitken to try to go around the outside. Maybe he can make the move, because yeah, he's on the outside line, so let's see, maybe he's going to have the better traction, because the line is so much drier in the line where Aitken it is, and it's going to allow him to go side by side through him, as now they're going through the fast right hand. This is very, very tricky in the dry conditions, even more in wet conditions, but Jack Aitken makes a superb move around the outside, but I believe that he is still there. No, he's not. So a superb move by Jack Aitken that gets up into P7 or P9, I'm not entirely sure, but now he got passed by Guan Yu Zhou, and now it's time for another Primo of Sean Galale, trying to go around the outside through a stall, but Latifi lost it, he's crashed, he spins round, and this is worse for a championship rival. I believe he's in P3, not very far from P2, and this is disaster, and now he finds himself in last place of this feature race. This is the worst scenario that can happen to Latifi, and there is a replay. It made a double lock-up, and then he tagged the side pop of the Galale, and then it was a passenger. So yeah, his race is pretty much ruined. He's probably going to start in last place in the sprint race, so it's going to be a weekend to forget to Nicholas Latifi. But now we skip forward onto lap 7. Absolutely nothing happened. I tried to catch Giotto, but Giotto started to pull away, so we are not definitely on the pace in this race. 45% of tire wear on these wet tires, so just see how hard I was pushing, tried to catch Giotto, but unfortunately yeah, in these wet conditions generally the AI is mega OP, and we have to settle down in P7, which is going to be probably our position, and probably we're going to start in P2. So now I'm going to try to bring it home. We pitted earlier than some guys, so I'm going to try to get the undercut, but it's going to be very hard, because like I said, we had a big distance to get the guys ahead of us, but we have a fresher rubber now. In these wet conditions generally the undercut is more powerful on wet conditions, at least from my experience and in real life. So we'll see what we can do, setting a purple second sector, so definitely the pace, and I'm feeling much confident when it comes to traction. But yeah, like I said, he's even more stronger than me when it comes to traction, and we jump Jack Aitken at the moment as the fastest lap of the race, and we find ourselves in P7, and the Freeze going side by side with Giotto. So Giotto got, I think, lost a lot of time to the Freeze, because Giotto gained a lot of time. That's what I was trying to say to the Freeze, and the Freeze made the move, so definitely we gained a lot of time on the Uni Virtuosi, and the Freeze got so much time on Giotto that gained a lot of that got past him, but he had a ton of oversteer. I tried to catch Giotto, but unfortunately it wasn't enough, and at the end of the day he's going to be P7 in the feature race. Yeah, it was a bit of the damage limitation. I didn't have the pace in the wet, so we'll see, because now we're going to start much ahead on the sprint race, and he's going to be in right conditions, so maybe we can make a better show, so we'll see. But yeah, it was a solid result. I did what I could do.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So another fantastic victory for Carlin today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
Their biggest advantage was how well they seemed to manage their tire temp. There wasn't a lot of grip out there anyway, but it was even worse for the drivers if they couldn't keep the tires in the proper operating window. Keeping the tires warm was what gave them the advantage today, and ultimately was a big factor in their win.
As we can see, it's time for the podium, and I can see the Carlin team underneath our commentary box going crazy as their driver walks out. It was a great win, and it means a great deal to this team.
And Louis Delatraz wins the feature race, and he gets closer to a championship tally, but we have a pretty solid gap, so we have a lot of points to play around, so I'm not really worried if you won the race or not. And Jordan got another podium, so now Delatraz is going to start in P8, and Jordan is going to start in P7. Talking about ourselves, it wasn't P7, so I was wrong. We're going to start in P3. It was P6 instead of P7, so apologies for that. But as you can see in the championship standings, we are 17 points ahead Louis Delatraz. So we have some points to play around, but we can't sleep that much because he's getting closer and closer. So we have to watch that. And in the team standings, we managed to pull away of Carlin, that now is ahead of Jams after that nightmare race of Nicholas Latifi. And here we are on the grid, finally dry conditions, happy day at Silverstone, no more rain, and going to be a no stop. We're going to drive these hearts. And that is the strategy, pretty simple. So we'll see. I think the objective here would be win the race, but I think I don't want to risk that much, and maybe I would be happy with the podium. And the pace hasn't been really good in the rain, but I don't know, we'll see. Generally in the dry conditions the pace is better, but you'll never know. I increased the difficulty, I forgot to say that. I think in the last episode was on 103 and now is in 104 to make things more exciting. 5 red lights for the sprint race at Silverstone, and it slides out, and away we go. And it wasn't a good initial getaway like in the first race, but then we broke down a little bit, and now Giotto is on my inside and he's going to get the position as I have a lot of understeer. And now we find ourselves side by side with Nick de Vries, and we managed to squeeze so aggressively that he lost the position to Sere Camera and our teammate Jordan King, but we drop a position over Luca Giotto, and we are outside of the podium positions. And now we're going to try to once again chasing down Giotto like we did in the first race, but this time let's try to make the move. But the traction is not very good against the AI in that part of the track at the end of the first sector, and Sergio is going to try to make a move on the inside, but I'm trying as hard as I can to break this car, and it gets the inside line because I locked up massively, but we managed to get the better traction, to get the better line, and we are ahead of Sergio Sere Camera. And now I'm going to try to get ahead of Giotto and pushing as hard as I can. We're setting personal bests, but not enough to get the fastest lap, but actually it is fastest lap, so I was forgetting that I said that at the end of lap 2. So definitely we are on the pace in these dry conditions, and we're getting so close to Giotto through these first few corners of the circuit, but not enough, and Giotto locks up, so he's feeling the pressure, and we're trying to press on as hard as I can, going purple on the first sector on lap 4, and now going purple on the second sector. So we are so much faster. Can we win this race? I don't know. I would be very happy just with the podium, and so confident on the brakes through Stowe, and we're going to have a great exit against the Uni Virtuosi, and he's going the fastest. So now we're going to try to go around the outside like we did on Latifi in wet conditions, and we're going to get B3 of this British Grand Prix in great fashion with a great move at the exit of Stowe, then through the final complex of corners, the chicane, and we are at a podium position. But we have a yellow flag, and I can tell you already that unfortunately our teammate Jordan is out of the sprint race. Oh man, it was being so good this race for him, grabbing a good bunch of points, but yeah, you're going to see that was just after this nice move on Giotto. So as you can see, we are ahead of Giotto, but then now we're watching the POV of Jordan, and yeah, his engine started to go away, and his sprint race comes to an early end after a good podium in the feature race at his home Grand Prix. Yeah, you don't want to see that image, and especially when you're fighting for the team's championship, but thankfully we are in a very comfortable position, and yeah, that was another DNF, and they're going to press on, and we skip forward all the way onto lap 8. Now lap 9, we're setting the fastest lap once again with a lighter car, despite the very warm medium hard tires, I should say. But Giotto is faster than me, and he's starting to apply the pressure, as you can see. And on lap 10, he's starting to get closer and closer, and I'm struggling a lot with the tire wear. I'm still setting personal bests because the car is starting to getting lighter and lighter. But we lost the back end, and we're going to tag Giotto, and we have front wing damage. I cracked under pressure, and we are down into P4. I lost a bit of my front wing, and we have 2 laps to go. And I have on my tail Sergio Sere Camera and Nick de Vries, respectively. And de Vries maybe is going to try something on the inside of Sere Camera, so this is going to allow me to pull away a bit of this guy. So the podium is out of the cards because we made a mistake. We cracked under pressure, and we were watching the replay, and yeah, it was a stupid move, and I think applying the brakes was the best thing that I could do, because I would spin the car and lost these 2 positions. But the consequence was that I touched the side pod of Giotto, and we lost a bit of front wing, and now I have a lot of understeer, and my tires are starting to fade away, and there goes Sere Camera on the inside out of nowhere, but we managed to defend around the outside, and giving everything that I can give, but we locked up massively because I don't have any downforce on my right hand side of my car, and I'm trying as hard as I can to get this P4. So this is goes down to the wire on the last lap, especially in the second sector where it requires a lot of downforce, and the ZA Camry gets a good run and is going to dive on the inside, and I'm going to try to manage to try to defend around the outside. Beautiful Helicam shot, and now we're going to have the inside. I'm going to try to push as wide as I can and try to get the best traction as I can, but look at the traction that ZA Camry has. I'm going to try to stick in his slipstream, but unfortunately is not enough, and I believe that's pretty much it in terms of battling the jams, because we're going to look at the understeer that we're going to have. We're going to run a bit wide, actually not, that was yeah, that was surprising to see, but we have one more car behind us. That is the ART of Nick de Vries, and he's so close that I'm having understeer through maggots and Beckers left and right and center, and look how close he is to my gearbox. He's going to have DRS, so this is go down to the wire. 61% on the tire wear. The engine is starting to overheat a little bit because I'm revving the car so much to get the best straight line speed as I can as he's trying to go around the outside, but now I'm going to have a lot of understeer going wide through Stowe, and he's going to have a chance to go around that side through the last corner. I brake as late as I can, but not enough, and de Vries is going to have the better line. He's going to go on the inside, and unfortunately de Vries is going to get that position, and at the end of the day he's going to be P6 in the very close finish of this race.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
So another fantastic victory for Campos today. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Although the Formula 2 car are all the same spec, the winner just looked better out there. It would have been a combination of getting those tires up to running temperature faster and driving to the condition on track. They made it look easy out there today.
I can see them on their way out to the podium now. Campos have come a really long way in this sport, and what a special race this was to see them earn the top spot.
Oh man, I tried everything that I could, but it wasn't enough. I had wing damage. It was my mistake. I cracked under pressure, and I tagged Giotto. We got a podium, so just to see. And Aitken wins is the sprint race. Actually, it happened in the real life, so a curious fact. But like I said, I tried everything that I could. Yeah, it was really exciting, this final. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, like I said, I cracked under pressure, and then I tried, but yeah, like I said, it happens in Formula 2. I could as well use the flashback, but I'm not the kind of guy, and we are 21 points ahead of Louis Delatraz, so he's getting closer and closer in the Team's Championship. We are 73 points ahead of Jam, so in the Team's Championship we are very comfortable after a dreadful weekend for Latifi. But guys, that has been the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash like and subscribe channel if you want to see plenty more Formula 2 and F2 content. Really motivates me to make more. If you could that, I would be very thankful. The next episode is going to be the Hungarian Grand Prix, so once again, thank you so much for watching, but now it's time to say goodbye. My name's Tom, and I'll see you guys for a brand new video next time, but for now, it's goodbye.